Exodus 29. And this is the thing that ye shall do unto them to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take one young bullock and 2 rams without blemish, and matzah cakes tempered with oil, and matzah wafers anointed with oil. Of wheaten flour shall you make them. And ye shall put them into one basket, and bring them in the basket, with the bullock and the 2 rams. And Aharon and his sons ye shall bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and shall wash them with water. And you shall taketh the garments, and put upon the Aharon the coat, and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod, and the breastplate, and gird him with the belt of the ephod. And ye shall put the turban upon his head, and putteth the holy crown upon the turban. Then shall you taketh the anointing oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And ye shall bringeth his sons, and put coats upon them. And ye shall gird them with belts, Aharon and his sons, and put the bonnets on them, and the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute. And ye shall consecrate Aharon and his sons. And ye shall causeth the bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the assembly, and Aharon and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And you shall killeth the bullock before YAHUAH by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And you shall take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with your finger, and poureth all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And ye shall taketh all the fat that covers the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung, shall you burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also taketh 1 ram, and Aharon and his son shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. And ye shall slayeth the ram, and ye shall taketh his blood, and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. And ye shall cutteth the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him, and his legs, and put them into his pieces, and unto his head. And ye shall burneth the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto YAHUAH. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto YAHUAH. And ye shall taketh the other ram, and Aharon and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. Then shall you killeth the ram, and take of his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aharon, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkleth the blood upon the altar round about. And ye shall take of the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aharon, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him. And he shall be hallowed, and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. Also ye shall take of the ram the fat, and the rump, and the fat that covers the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration. And 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of the matzah that is before YAHUAH. And ye shall put all in the hands of Aharon, and in the hands of his sons, and shall wave them for a wave offering before YAHUAH. And ye shall receive them of their hands, and burn them upon the altar for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor before YAHUAH. It is an offering made by fire unto YAHUAH. And ye shall taketh the breast of the ram of Aharon's consecration, and wave it for a wave offering before YAHUAH, and it shall be your part. And ye shall sanctify the breast of the wave offering, and at the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved, and which is heaved up, of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aharon, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aharon's and his sons by a statute forever from the children of Yasharel, for it is a heave offering. And it shall be a heave offering from the children of Yasharel of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto YAHUAH. And the holy garments of Aharon shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them. And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days, when he comes into the tabernacle of the assembly to minister in the holy place. And ye shall taketh the ram of the consecration, and see this flesh in the holy place. And Aharon and his sons shall eateth the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket, by the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And they shall eat those things wherein the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecrations, or of the bread, remain unto the morning, then you shall burneth the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shall you do unto Aharon and his sons, according to all things which I have commanded you. 7 days shall you consecrate them. And ye shall offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for the atonement, and ye shall cleanse the altar, when ye have made an atonement for it, and ye shall anoint it, to sanctify it. 7 days ye shall make an atonement for the altar, and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever touches the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which ye shall offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. As the one lamb you shall offer in the morning, and as the other lamb you shall offer at evening. And with the one lamb 1/10 deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of a hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of a hin of wine, for a drink offering. And as the other lamb you shall offer at evening, and shall do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto YAHUAH. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly before YAHUAH. There I will meet you, to speak there unto you. And there I will meet with the children of Yasharel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify at the tabernacle of the assembly, and at the altar, and I will sanctify both as Aharon and as his sons, to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Yasharel, and I will be their Elohim. And they shall make know that I am YAHUAH Elohim, that brought them forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, that I may dwell among them. I am YAHUAH Elohim.